Like, I remember thinking to myself, has this movie always been dirty? Obviously not. I have watched it and loved it for years. My family has let me watch it. And then I just spent the rest of the movie, like, watching it in my head, like, oh my gosh, this movie is filthy.
Welcome to Blooming Horizon, where we share and we grow. Winds, walls, and truths, it's a journey we all know. Blooming Horizon, let your parent heart glow. Let's grow as we go.
I was sitting 6th grade we were just obsessed with Grease. We loved it. I was already obsessed with it, but now like all my friends had now become obsessed with it as well. And we're watching Grease Lightning, and they pull out those sheets of saran wrap and start rubbing it across their lower male region. And I was like, this movie is dirty. Has it? Like, I remember thinking to myself, has this movie always been dirty? Obviously not. I have watched it and loved it for years. My family has let me watch it. And then I just spent the rest of the movie, like, watching it in my head, like, oh my gosh, this movie is filthy. I can't believe my mom lets me watch it. And then, and the other, Grease, and the other movie that we would check out from Blockbuster, almost every Friday, my mom would be like, really, can we please rent something else? Footloose.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how inappropriate that movie really is for like a small child?
I've never seen Footloose.
I have.
So.
Yeah, that and, well, obviously Dirty Dancing.
Oh, that was the other one. And I had a friend and her parents wouldn't let her watch Dirty Dancing. And I was like, what do you mean you've never seen Dirty Dancing?
It's classic though,
It's
but
like the
classic.
best love story. It's kind of not. It's kind of not.
Yeah.
He is a grown,
This
full
is
grown
true.
man.
Grown.
She's supposed to be like, like high school vacationing with her
Yeah.
parents.
16, 17.
And they're like up in the. Do you know? I didn't realize it either, but in hindsight, they were probably Jewish,
Yes.
and that was like up in the Catskills.
yeah. They had like
And they have like anyway. That's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
But yeah, and so then she like falls in love with a whole grown man.
Whole grown.
But can we also talk about the fact that her mom was upset about his socioeconomic class, not the fact that she was like maybe 18.
A little girl, yeah. And then like there's an abortion in it. She sneaks off to go dance with him.
Yes,
like
dirty dance.
Like dirty. I know. They called it dirty. Really, they should have just called it like
shimmying
very
like,
vigorously. I mean, it was still kind of dirty, but at the time, by the 90s, we were like, that's not dirty. We can show you dirty. But yeah, Grease. I remember Grease and Footloose. Mm-hmm. Her boyfriend beats her up. Like,
oh, I don't remember that.
What? Yeah, like her boyfriend like smacks her around real bad, and Kevin Bacon comes and rescues her.
Okay.
That's kind of the worst of it, but it's very adult themed topic. Let me put it that way.
We watched all of it,
and we watched it all the time.
All the time.
And Grease, I cannot tell you how many times I have seen that movie. I cannot tell you. And the whole thing. Like because then when I went back and watched it, and there's a scene with like Rizzo and Kaneki, and they're in the back seat of the car.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, they're just watching a movie, right? And then he's like, oh no, it broke. And she's like, how could it broke? And he's like, I've had it since the 4th grade. And she goes, oh well. And then they fall down in the seat. I was just like, oh okay, whatever. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
His condom broke. I was like, oh, like I remember, like, see, like my brain watching it, like
I know,
like, in post.
I had the whole LP, like the vinyl album.
Yes.
Played it on repeat.
What?
All
like
the time.
sang all the songs to the top of my lungs.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
we had that, and it was like you opened it and it had all the picture collages. Yes, I had
it was
that
amazing.
record too.
Reproduction.
Well, you know what's so funny is as a teacher, and I was teaching middle school, and the drama teacher and I would be trying to figure out like what to do for the next musical, and so we had combined our classes because we're just tired, girl, and we're tired, and it was kind of at the end of the year, and so it was like my varsity choir and like her JV or something, and we're all together, and they're like, oh, let's be fun is let's put up the musicals that you guys are interested in, right? So we can see what they would like to do.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, all of them are like, Grace! And we were like, we can't do Grease. And they were like,
There's
why
not
not?
a Grease Junior.
And then there's no such thing as a Grease Junior. And they were like, no, it's going to be so great. And I was like, guys, I don't think you realize how inappropriate that is. And they were just looking at me like, I don't understand.
It's like I had a movie on. We're watching Hairspray.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I same
Friends.
thing. Like I was like, "Coo, coo, coo, coo." And they're like, "Oh, hey, Sally Q. Like, she's going to be gone for a few months. Like, you know, how long are you going to be gone?" She's like, "About 9 months." And I remember like shooting my head up and like looking at the kids, like, "Did anybody catch that?" Nope. Okay, moving on. You know, she's like, "I'm a checkerboard chick." Like, oh, there's a lot in there that I was like,
Yeah.
"Anybody catch that?" Nope. Okay, moving on.
You know, we watched Home Alone. It was 6th grade. And I was like, oh. But I had grown. So I was like, this is rated PG-13.
I bet it's PG. It's old.
It's either PG
Yeah,
or
it's PG.
PG-13. But I said, I'm going to get all these parents to sign this form, right? So then when we were watching it, I made sure everybody that was there, I had their sign form. I have not really like taken in Home Alone. There's a scene where Culkin finds
his older brother's
yes,
Playboy.
He finds his Playboy, and then all the little girls are like, "Oh my god!" And I was like,
he like opens it, you know, he's like, ugh, and then he flips it, and then it like, you know, unfolds, and he goes, ugh, and he throws it away. So I mean, it's still,
yes, but
I mean, you see the cover of the Playboy, in the
yes,
scene.
and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" And that is considered a family
no,
movie.
I'll do you one better.
What?
My oldest was probably in like 1st, 2nd grade, and the PTA is like, we're gonna have family movie night. We're gonna like indoor family movie night. Bring your chairs. We're gonna watch a movie, have popcorn. It's gonna be so great. We're gonna be watching Sandlot. And my husband immediately was like, when was the last time you watched that? Like, did you have children when you watched it last? Because there's things in our mind that we love, right? And then you watch it again with your kids.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I do not remember that being in the movie. And he was like, you might want to go back and preview that. And within like 2 hours, new email. Guess what, guys? New movie.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of like, they're little boys in a field by themselves. So, I mean, there's just a lot of language. So that was
It was something.
Sandlot, Goonies. But
Goonies.
Goonies
I love
holds up
Goonies.
though. I
Oh my
love the
gosh.
Goonies.
You
Have
let
you
your
watched-
little one watch Goonies. I was surprised
Yes.
by that, friend. I haven't
Okay.
done it yet.
Yeah, I mean,
It's fine.
the first time we watched it together, I had forgot. I
forgot some of the
I
parts.
forgot. I was like, you know, mostly the first, you know, opening scenes and language and suggestive. So
It was the
but
80s.
Yeah, it was. It was a great time. But then the second and last time we watched it, like, so we homeschooled for a long time, and so but now she's been in the school for about a year, and so she's heard a lot of things, and so she knows. She's like,
not
you know,
Thrown by it.
no, she's not thrown by it. She wasn't fazed by it, and she also doesn't really.
There's another,
Use it,
I
so.
think it's on Netflix, but it's called Ohana.
Yes, loved it,
And
we
it's
watched it.
kind of,
Yeah. It's like Goonies.
it's like Goonies.
Oh,
It is-
okay.
and even the young, he's an grown adult now, but the Asian, he's a little Asian boy in Goonies.
Is that
Okay.
And he had all the gadgets.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah,
with those
yeah,
gadgets.
yeah.
He's in this, so it kind of creates like a little common thread.
him?
Yeah, it's like a grown up. So it's like a fun little just
it.
homage. But
Is it more appropriate, like, than Goonies?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
I'm gonna
I mean,
watch that.
it's
But
not the
Goonies
80s,
is-
so
It's a classic.
the 80s, but I mean, I
It was
remember watching
fantastic.
National Lampoon's Christmas with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple,
Yes.
and Brian was like, "Oh, it's fine," because really the whole movie is generally like not terrible, but yeah. Then there's like a scene where he's like imagining Cindy Crawford or somebody like getting out of the swimming pool, you know, and you're like, when you have like tiny kids. But yeah, you gotta watch those 80s movies.
Blooming horizon, we're here to show